Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and I'm here to give you some tips that your hotel school teacher might not have taught you before. When we work in a 5-star hotels, there are always so many standards to follow. The hotel's own standards, FOB standards, MOCA standards, etc. etc. You might notice there is one standard is always highlighted but somehow we still miss it easily. Do you know which standard is that? Yes, name usage. So why is it so important to use the guest name? Because by doing so, you can make the guest feel recognized and you are the one who make the guest feel special. So my next question is, why is it so difficult to use the guest name? Well, I don't know, it's just so hard to pronounce the guest name. And you know what? I did use the guest name, but maybe you just didn't notice about it. So for those of you who has challenged to say the guest name, don't worry, I have the same challenge as well. It doesn't matter, just try your best to pronounce it, and I'm sure the guests will appreciate your effort, even though it is not 100% correct. Or you can even ask the guest to teach you how to pronounce the name because they're usually happy to teach you. So just don't be afraid to call the guest by name. So once you know how to pronounce the guest name, here is the next challenge. How do I use the guest name naturally? Well, it is hard to define how many times you should use the guest name during a conversation. However, if you just use one time, maybe sometimes the guest is not paying attention, or if you use every sentence, you put the guest name. Good morning, Mrs. Smith. How are you, Mrs. Smith? Allow me to show you this way, Mrs. Smith. Then it is very annoying. So please do not do that every sentence you add the guest name. So we have to use it naturally. My advice is you can use it 3 times during a long conversation and 2 times during a short conversation. So for a long conversation, you can use it at the beginning, during the conversation, and at the end. So 3 times. So for example, in a check-in scenario, when the guests come to you to check in and then you ask for the name for the reservation, and then once you look up in the computer, you will know what's the guest name. Then you can say, Mrs. Smith, welcome to blah 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 hotel, and then you continue with your registration. And then I'm sure usually you need to get a credit card to guarantee, then that will be your second chance during the conversation. You can ask Mr. Smith, may I have your credit card to register please? And then you continue with your check-in process. And at the end, after you complete the process, you can say, oh, Mr. Smith, thank you for waiting. Your room is ready. Allow me to show you to the room. And equally during the checkout, so usually the guest will give you the key card and then you will look up in your system what is the guest name. Then you can say, oh, Mr. Smith, thank you very much for staying with us. How was your stay with us? And then you continue your conversation during the checkout. So after you show the bill, it is another good chance for you to ask for the credit card. Then you can use the guest name, Mrs. Smith, may I have your credit card to process the payment? And then you continue for the payment process, and after everything at the end, you can say, oh, Mrs. Smith, thank you very much for staying with us, and I hope to see you next time, and then you can do a good farewell to the guests. So this is a long conversation, check in, check out, and it will be good for you to use 3 times for using the guest name. And as for the short conversation, so you can use it 2 times at the beginning and then at the end. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. My name is Jenny and I hope this video is useful for you at work. So if you have any challenge working at the front desk and you don't know what to do, please feel free to let me know, and I'm excited to share my experience and my advice with you. So hope to see you next time in the next video. Bye!